The teller's face drained of color the instant she swiped my card through the reader. It wasn't the usual polite smile or bored glance. Her eyes bulged, and she stammered something under her breath before hitting a discreet button under the counter. "One moment, ma'am," she whispered, her voice trembling just a bit. I stood there in the grand, echoing lobby of First Elite Bank, clutching my worn duffel bag, the only thing I'd grabbed on my way out. My blouse was still stained from the wine Mark had accidentally spilled on me during their little victory party an hour earlier. And my hair was a mess from where his sister Elena had shoved me against the doorframe. Laughing. Outside. Through the towering floor-to-ceiling windows. I could see them. Mark, Elena, and Sophia, lounging against his shiny SUV in the parking lot, snapping selfies like they'd just won the lottery. They'd trailed me here, no doubt expecting to watch me beg for a handout or get turned away with an overdrawn account. The security doors hummed to life, sealing shut with a series of soft thuds. The few other patrons, suits with briefcases, glanced around uneasily. "Ms. Harper," the branch manager said, emerging from a side office with a deference that bordered on awe. "It's an honor to have you back." I nodded, my throat tight. But I didn't smile. Not yet. To understand this moment, you have to go back. Back to how I ended up here, discarded like yesterday's trash, while my husband and his vulture sisters waited to gloat. It all started looking so ordinary. Or, at least what had become my ordinary after 8 years of marriage. I'd wake up at dawn in the spare room of Mark's suburban McMansion in Denver, the one his late father had left him. As his mother never let me forget. I'd brew coffee, scramble eggs, and pack his lunch for his job as a mid-level exec at a tech firm. If he was in a good mood, he'd mutter thanks on his way out. If not, there'd be a note from his mom. "Vivian, Lauren. The counters need wiping, properly this time. Or worse, family dinner Sunday. Wear something that doesn't embarrass us." I worked part-time at the local community college library, archiving books and helping students with research. It paid peanuts, but I loved the hush of the stacks. The way stories could transport you. Mark resented it. "You could do better with that useless English degree," he'd sneer. He thought I'd scraped through community college. I'd never corrected him. Truth was, I had a PhD in literature from an Ivy League school, but admitting that would have opened doors to my past, I wasn't ready to unlock. 8 years ago, at 28, I'd met Mark at a dive bar trivia night. I'd just inherited my family's fortune 2 years prior, after my parents, both prominent attorneys, perished in a plane crash during a charity trip. Their law firm, stocks, real estate, everything fell to me. Overnight. I was worth millions, but grief-stricken and paranoid. I'd seen friends circle like sharks around wealthy heirs, and I craved real love, not gold digging. So, I liquidated what I could, parked the bulk in a private wealth fund, and vanished into anonymity. New name, new city, simple life. Mark seemed genuine, funny, ambitious, with that boyish charm. He courted me with picnics and late-night talks. When he proposed after a year, I said yes, believing I'd found authenticity. The wedding was modest, my call. Vivian clucked about my lack of family. My off-the-rack dress. No big affair? How? Quaint. The photos showed her forced smile, like she was attending a pity party. The erosion was gradual, like sand wearing down stone. On our honeymoon in Florida, Mark texted Vivian constantly for advice. Back home, he probed subtly. Any family money tucked away? When none appeared, his warmth cooled. Vivian visited often, critiquing everything, the decor, my cooking, my lack of drive. Mark deserves a partner who elevates him, she'd say. Eye me like a bug. Then his sisters piled on. Elena, the aggressive marketing consultant, always in power blazers, would grill me at gatherings. Still shelving books for chump change? Don't you want more out of life? Sophia, the influencer type, was sneakier. All fake sympathy. Honey, if money's tight, I know gigs for girls like you, though ambition isn't for everyone. She'd Instagram their sibling successes, cropping me out or tagging me as Theplusone. About 7 months back, the venom intensified. At Vivian's weekly brunches, they discuss me openly, like I was invisible. Mark, you're pushing 40, Elena barked over pancakes. Prime time for growth. Why drag dead weight? Sophia chimed in sweetly. She offers emotional support, I guess. But look at you, stressed. Undervalued. Mark fidgeted, but never defended me. Vivian's stares were icy. Lauren, ever think about your future? Alone and penniless, when Mark smartens up? I'd reply calmly, I'll manage, which only fueled their rage. Like I held a secret ace, and I did. 4 days before the boot, I eavesdropped on Mark's call from the laundry room. I'm through babying her, he told Elena. Voice flat as asphalt. Vivian's got the lawyer lined up. We'll evict her, if she fights. My heart hammered. But I stayed still. 8 years of tests. Of enduring barbs to prove love's purity. And this was the verdict. I dug out my hidden velvet pouch from the attic, a platinum card from Elite Private Wealth, embossed with Lauren Abigail Harper. I traced it, deciding, let them strike first. I'd counterpunch. In those final days, I played the meek wife flawlessly, ironing shirts, smiling through Vivian's calls about hygiene standards. But covertly, I waged prep, snapped pics of Mark's hidden docs, bank slips showing mysterious transfers. The home equity loan he'd claimed was routine, uploaded to a encrypted drive. Boxed my heirlooms, Mom's diary, Dad's cufflinks, and stashed them in a Boulder storage unit. Paid cash. The clerk barely glanced up. Thursday. Sophia texted Mark, I saw it pop up. Tomorrow. United Front. Drafted papers ready. Shock her into bolting. What if she resists, he replied. With what? She's got zilch, no kin. No cash. She'll fold. I set down the iron, steadying my breath. Girls like her. As if they knew me at all. Friday hit like a storm. Mark slunk home early. Family's coming. Big talk. Should I prep dinner? Nah. Won't drag. They arrived at dusk. Vivian leading like a general. Elena in stilettos clicking menace. Sophia phone ready for the spectacle. Living room, Vivian commanded. They arrayed on the sectional. Me in the lone armchair, facing judgment. Sit, Elena snapped. Vivian cleared her throat. This marriage? It's draining, Mark. Elena piled on. No financial input. Sloppy appearance. Social drag. Sophia ticked fingers. You're holding him back. They flashed Mark's statements. All his money, mortgage. Bills. You? Pocket change from books. Parasite, Sophia murmured kindly. Time's up. Vivian thrust papers. Leave tonight. No claims. House is his. The air thickened. Tick of the wall clock. Distant traffic. Now. I echoed. Pack and vanish, Elena grinned. Sensing victory. I rose. 1 bag. Then. Confusion flickered. Their triumph soured. They tailed me to the bedroom, watching like hawks as I stuffed essentials. Sophia narrated on video. Pathetic exit from an undeserved life. Elena rifled drawers. Trashing my scarf. Garbage. Snatched my heirloom earrings. These might pawn nice. Pocketed them brazenly. Mark hovered. Elena. Ease up. What? Defending her now. He clammed. 40 minutes later, at the door with my duffel, Vivian shoved the agreement. Sign. Walk away empty. No need, I said. Laughter erupted, mocking. Vicious. Resources? Like library fines? Sophia jeered. I loaded the car, glimpsing their champagne pop inside. Toasts to freedom. Mark chugged, relieved. I sat, absorbing. 8 years of diminishment, culminating in this. From my pocket, the platinum card gleamed. Time to unveil. I drove straight to the bank, but not the local branch where Mark cashed his checks. No. I headed downtown to First Elite's flagship, the kind with marble floors and hushed tones reserved for the ultra-wealthy. The kind Mark didn't even know existed in my world. My hands gripped the wheel tighter as I replayed the scene, Elena's sneer as she pocketed my earrings. Sophia's gleeful filming. Vivian's smug nod. Mark's cowardly silence. 8 years I'd swallowed their poison, testing if love could bloom without the shadow of money. Now, the test results were in, and they were damning. Pulling into the lot, I spotted Mark's SUV tailing me, probably to capture my failure for their group chat. Let them watch. I grabbed my duffel and marched in, the cool air hitting like a bomb. The teller, a young woman named Mia, according to her tag, took my card. That's when her world tilted. After the button press, the manager, Mr. Reginald Hayes, silver-haired and impeccably suited, approached with a deference I'd forgotten felt like. MS. Harper. We've been managing your accounts discreetly as per your instructions. How can we assist? I glanced outside. Mark and his sisters, now pressed to the glass, frowning in confusion as the doors locked. I need access to my primary fund. And please, call my advisor, discreetly. Hayes nodded, ushering me to a private suite. While he fetched documents, I sank into a leather chair, the weight of the day crashing down. Tears pricked, but I blinked them back. Not here. Not yet. Hayes returned with a tablet showing my balances. $1.9 million liquid, plus investments pushing my net worth to $2.7 million. It had grown under expert management while I'd played poor housewife. Everything's intact, he assured. Shall we discuss withdrawals? First, a lawyer, I said. Someone cutthroat for divorce and asset protection. He recommended Victoria Lang, a shark in family law. I dialed her from the suite's secure line. MS. Harper? Reginald Hayes vouched for you. Sounds urgent. I spilled it. The hidden wealth, the marriage test, the eviction, the thefts, the fraud. Lang listened, sharp intakes of breath punctuating my tale. You've got grounds for everything: emotional abuse, financial deceit, theft. Documented. Photos. Recordings I prepped. Smart. Meet me here in an hour. Bring everything. As I waited, Hayes arranged a forensic accountant, Ethan Reed, to join. Outside, Mark pounded the glass, Elena yelling at a guard. Sophia filmed futilely. Security kept them at bay. When Lang arrived, tall, no nonsense in a tailored suit, she reviewed my files. This is gold. Mark refinanced your home 6 months ago. Pulled $90,000 equity. Funneled it to Elena's failing consultancy. No disclosure to you. That's marital fraud. Reed nodded, poring over spreadsheets, traces to her business loans. Conspiracy, if she knew. We planned the confrontation, lure them in under pretense of settlement talks. Hayes' team would handle security. You want quiet or fireworks? Lang asked. I thought of Vivian's weekly digs, Elena's shoves, Sophia's posts labeling me deadweight wife. Fireworks. Make them regret. An hour later, security escorted them up. They burst in, Elena leading. What scam is this? Dragging us here like crooks. They froze at the sight, conference table laden with docs. Lang at the head, Reed beside her. Hayes observing, me composed opposite. Sit, Lang commanded. I'm Victoria Lang. Yes. Harper's counsel. This is Ethan Reed, accountant. And you know Reginald Hayes. Elena bristled. Who the hell is Harper? Lang smiled thinly. That's her real name. Lauren Abigail Harper. But you've known her as Lauren Bennett, poor, unambitious wife. She projected my parents' obituary. Top attorneys. Died, tragically, leaving millions to their daughter. Gasps. Next, inheritance papers. $1.4 million initial. Grown to $2.7 million total. Sophia wheezed. Mark paled. Elena stammered. She hid this to test love without money, Lang continued. You failed spectacularly. Evicting her, stealing jewelry, committing fraud. Reed spun his screen. $90,000 equity to Elena, undisclosed. That's a gift, Mark blurted. Marital asset, Lang countered. Hidden. Fraudulent. Recordings prove conspiracy. The room spun for them. Mark buried his face. Elena flushed. Sophia sobbed. Lang paced. Mark. Sign clean divorce. No claims on her wealth. Repay $90,000 in 90 days. Or lien on the house. Can't, he whined. Elena's business ate it. Then she pays, Reed said. Or charges fraud. Theft. Elena unclasped my earrings, sliding them over. Apology in writing. 72 hours. Sophia. Delete all posts. Public apology. 24 hours. Vivian wasn't there. But Lang noted. We'll deal with her enabling separately. Mark signed, trembling. Clear? Nods. Security hustled them out, Elena's curses fading. Sophia's tears. Mark's silence. Alone. I exhaled. Well played, Lang said. Therapeutic. Cathartic. Over the next days. Fallout reigned. Mark fired for integrity issues after rumors spread. Elena liquidated assets to repay, crippling her firm. Sophia's apology went viral, backlash tanked her following. She went dark. Vivian called once. Lauren. I regret. For what? Teaching greed over kindness. Silence. She hung up. I moved to a sleek condo in the city. Views of the Rockies. All mine. Quit the library, but endowed it generously. Started the Harper Haven Foundation. Aid for abuse survivors. First grant. A mom evicted with kids. Now housed and studying. You're my hero, she said. No, you are. I'm just the boost. Sundays now? Coffee. Applications review. An email from Mark, Therapy Insights. Regrets. Deleted. No revins. A call. Lang's associate. New client. Kicked out yesterday. Thought of you. On my way. Mirror glance stronger. Unbowed. The old card beside the new. A reminder. They'd tried breaking me. Instead. They freed me. Worth every penny. Every year. Weeks blurred into a rhythm of renewal. My condo became a sanctuary. Minimalist furniture I'd chosen. Bookshelves groaning with tomes I'd denied myself for years. Mornings, I'd sip artisanal coffee on the balcony, watching Denver wake, the sun gilding the mountains. No more dawn scrambles for Mark's approval. No notes critiquing my existence. The foundation consumed me, vetting applications, coordinating with shelters, dispersing funds. One case haunted, a young teacher, Sarah, whose husband had isolated her, drained their savings, then bolted with a mistress, leaving her evicted. I thought love meant enduring, she confided in our first meeting. I handed her a check for relocation and tuition. Love means respect. You deserve better. Her hug lingered. In her eyes, I saw my old self, but echoes of the past intruded. A month post-confrontation, I spotted Sophia at a downtown cafe. She looked diminished, no filters.
No poses.
Our eyes met. She approached hesitantly.
Lauren.
I deleted everything. Posted the apology.
I saw.
Viral. Huh. She winced. Lost my sponsorships. Friends ghosted. A pause. I was jealous. You seemed content with little. I chase likes. Jealousy doesn't excuse cruelty. She nodded, tears welling. I'm sorry. Truly. I left without absolving, some wound scar. Elena was next. Her apology arrived via certified mail, a terse note with the repaid funds proof. But 2 months in, her consultancy folded. Public records showed audits revealing shady deals, likely tipped by Reed Stiggs. She emailed, "You ruined me." I replied, "You ruined yourself. Choices have costs." No response. Mark, radio silence until a therapy letter, forwarded by Lang, pages of introspection, admitting family toxicity, his spinelessness. I loved you, but conditionally. Therapy's showing me that. I burned it in the sink, symbolic closure. Vivian ambushed me at a charity gala I'd sponsored. Dressed down from her usual pearls, she cornered me by the bar. "Lauren, we need to talk." "Do we?" I raised them wrong, prioritized status over empathy. Seeing them suffer. "It's my fault." Her voice cracked. "Forgive us?" I sipped champagne. Forgiveness is an ode. You all chose greed. Live with the fallout. She left deflated. The foundation grew. Hired staff. Leased offices. A partnership with local courts for emergency grants. One night, reviewing a file, a nurse evicted after discovering her spouse's gambling debts, I flashed back to my own eviction. The shove. The trashings. The laughter. Anger surged, then ebbed. They'd aimed to crush. Instead, they catalyzed. A breakthrough case, a veteran, Mike, thrown out by in-laws while his wife deployed. We funded housing, therapy, his thank you call. You get it, the betrayal.
Ido.
Keep fighting. Personal life? Tentative dates, a kind professor from the library circle. No rush, self-love first. 6 months post. A summons, Mark contesting divorce peripherals, claiming emotional distress.
Lang Lauket, desperate.
We'll bury him. Court day. He looked gaunt. Sisters absent. Judge reviewed evidence, recordings of plots. Thefts. Mr. Bennett. This reeks of abuse. Settlement upheld. Extra penalties for frivolity. Post-hearing, Mark approached. "Lauren.
Can we
Talk."
No.
"I miss you. You miss the idea."
Goodbye.
Freedom tasted sweet. As the foundation hit its stride, media buzzed. A local paper profiled Harper Haven, millionaire's mission from misery. I declined interviews, privacy paramount, but the story leaked subtly. Inspiring donations. One evening, browsing applications. A familiar name, Vivian Bennett. Her plea, funds for Elena's rehab, addiction spiraled post-collapse. Irony, Lang quipped when I shared. I approved anonymously, mercy, not weakness. Personal growth deepened. Therapy unpacked my test. Healthy? Debatable. But it revealed truths. I traveled, a solo trip to New York, revisiting my alma mater. Walked campuses, remembering pre-grief dreams. Back home, I authored a book anonymously, Hidden Worth, Surviving Conditional Love. Proceeds to the foundation. A year mark, Anniversary of eviction. I hosted a small gala, survivors sharing stories. Sarah spoke. Lauren showed me my value.
Aplauses Suled, ters mine.
Mark resurfaced via lawyer, selling the house to settle debts. Any interest? No, let it go. Sophia messaged, in therapy.
Zebuling opferline.
Thanks for the wake-up. Progress. Perhaps. Elena's turn. A coffee meet she requested.
Sober.
Humbled. I was a bully. Money blinded me. Why? Insecurity. You threatened our narrative. We parted neutrally. Forgiveness earned slowly. Vivian? A letter. Disowning old ways. Volunteering at shelters. Genuine? Time tells. My life bloomed. Romance with the professor deepened. Honest. No tests. Foundation expanded nationally. Reflecting. They'd discarded me. Unveiling my strength. A gift. Twistedly. 2 years on. Harper Haven was a beacon. Thousands aided. Policies influenced. I testified in D.C. for abuse protections. My story anonymized but impactful. Mark remarried quickly, a trophy type. Divorced quicker. Last seen, job hopping. Isolated. Sisters. Elena pivoted to counseling. Sophia to authentic content. Ironic redemption. Vivian. Full-time volunteer. Our paths crossed at events. Cordial nods.
Me?
Engaged to the professor. Planning a simple wedding. Foundation thriving. Book a bestseller. One Eve. Aiding a fresh evictee. I shared. They think you're nothing. Prove you're everything. Her nod mirrored my journey's end, or beginning. The test cost years, but yielded truth. Worth is inherent. They'd thrown away gold. I reclaimed it. Sharing the shine.